Yeah, De La Hoya's been dissing Eddie Hearn, hasn't he? He's been dissing Eddie Hearn, hasn't he? De La Hoya, you know, saying that he fucking messed up Joshua's career. Yeah, listen to this video.
I'll tell you one thing. The Joshua, who fought, baby? We saw the fight Joshua versus Usyk, which nobody saw in the US. Yeah, because what's that promoter that doesn't know how to, has no clue what to do in the US? I think his name is Hearn or something.
Oh, Thomas Hearn?
Yeah, Thomas Hearn. Thomas Hearn, stay in the UK, promote your fights. You have no clue what you're doing in the US. The Zone's doing the right thing by sticking with Golden Boy. Let's see. And first of all, what's that Eddie, the Edward Hearn?
Is it Eddie Hearns?
Yeah. That guy should fucking promote in the UK. Stay away from the US. He does not know how to promote. He proved it with, who did we see fight there?
Let me look. I'm gonna
yeah. Who did he fight? Who's a heavyweight fought?
Eddie Hearns.
Yeah. A heavyweight fought tonight, babe. Oh, Usyk crowned himself world champion. And Eddie Hearn ruined Joshua's career, so yeah.
So yeah, what do you think of that? De La Hoya, he's fucking messed up, innit? He's really fucking messed up, you know what I mean? You know, we seen him dressing up as a woman, didn't we? You know, he's snorting coke, he's proper fucking messed up, innit, De La Hoya? Yeah, he's sat there like that. He looks a bit fucked up, don't he? He looks a bit disabled, don't he? He looks like Christopher Reeves. You remember him? You remember Christopher Reeves, you know, Superman? You know, he fell off a horse, didn't he, and became disabled. So that's what De La Hoya looks like. He looks a bit messed up there, don't he? He looks a bit disabled, you know, like that woman's like keeping his head up. You know, like he's paralyzed from the neck down. Yeah, he looks a bit like Christopher Reeves, don't he? But what do you think of all this from De La Hoya? It's a bit sad, isn't it? It's a bit sad to see, isn't it? You know, having got Eddie Hearn, I think he's a bit bitter, you know, that Eddie Hearn got with Canelo. You know, and Canelo fucked off De La Hoya. Because they used to work together, didn't they? De La Hoya and Canelo, but Canelo fucked him off, you know, to go with Eddie Hearn. So I think De La Hoya's a bit bitter, isn't he? You know, the way he's talking in this video, people say he's punch drunk, but I don't think he's punch drunk, you know, I don't think he is. Yeah, I don't think he is at all. I think he, you know, he had a close fight with Mayweather, didn't he? I think he lost it on a split decision. He got fucked up by Shane Mosley a few times, but I don't think he took any serious beatings, you know, in boxing. You know, to have brain damage. So I think it's just bitterness, you know, towards Eddie Hearn. You know, and Joshua. You know, he was like saying that Eddie Hearn's ruined Joshua's career. Do you think that's true? I don't think that's true. I think Joshua ruined his own career. You know, Joshua, like, just before the Ruiz first fight, Joshua, he got interviewed by that fucking Coogan. And Joshua said to Coogan that he spars, you know, up to the Wednesday of the fight. So he basically spars like 3 days before the fight, and Coogan was like a bit surprised by it. But Joshua said, yeah, I spar up to the Wednesday of the fight. Yeah, I just keep it going. I keep the sparring going. So Joshua got concussed, you know, in that spar. You know, just before his fight with Ruiz. And then he got in there with Ruiz, a bit concussed. And he got fucked up. He got proper messed up, didn't he, Joshua, by Ruiz. You know what I mean? So since that fight with Ruiz, he's become a bit gun shy, hasn't he? He's a bit wary of getting punched. He's a bit on edge. He's a bit scared, isn't he? He's a bit hesitant. You know, we've seen him running around the ring, you know, against Ruiz in the rematch. So after getting fucked up in sparring and getting concussed and then getting messed up by Ruiz in the first fight, he's really scared and hesitant. You know, and we've seen that against Usyk. Joshua was really on edge, you know, he was like flinching, you know, anytime Usyk like fainted. Joshua would like react, you know, like he was really scared. You know, he ain't got it anymore, has he? He didn't use his physical attributes, you know, to try and walk down Usyk and put it on him physically. So, you know, Joshua, he's kind of fucked up his own career, you know what I mean? You know, by sparring and getting concussed. You know, sparring that close to a fight and getting concussed and then getting fucked up by Ruiz. You know, I won't put it down to Eddie Hearn at all. It's all on Joshua, innit? It's all Joshua's fault, man. You know, De La Hoya is just trying to have a go at Eddie Hearn, innit? You know, because he took Canelo, you know, pretending he doesn't know Eddie Hearn's name. You know what I mean? That's a bit like Kogan, innit? You know Kogan, yeah? Kogan pretends that he doesn't watch my videos. You know, trying to act like he's above it. You know, trying to make out like these videos aren't on Kogan's radar at all. You know, like these videos are so far below Kogan's radar that he don't watch them. He doesn't have any idea about these videos, but he does. Kogan watches every single fucking video that I do. But he pretends that he doesn't, you know, to try and make out like he's above it. And it's the same with De La Hoya. You know, pretending that he doesn't know Eddie Hearn's name.
What's that promoter that doesn't know how to, has no clue what to do in the US? I think his name is Hearn or something.
Oh, Thomas Hearn?
Yeah, Thomas Hearn. Thomas Hearn, stay in the UK, promote your fights. You have no clue what you're doing in the US.
So he's a bit bitter, isn't he, De La Hoya? He's a bit messed up. You know, he's fucking coked up. You know, he's a bit bitter, isn't he? Deluded. It's a bit of a shame because he had a good boxing career, you know what I mean? He had some good victories. He won some good titles. He made a lot of money, but now he's just kind of starting to go downhill, isn't he? You know, like Holyfield. He had quite a good career, you know, in the cruiserweight division and the heavyweight division. He had some success then in Holyfield and he made some money. Same with De La Hoya, but these guys, they just kind of fucking ruin it all. You know, when their careers are over and done with, they kind of come back, you know, and embarrass themselves. You know, De La Hoya, he's fucking messed up, isn't he? You know, he's having a go at Dana White saying, oh, you're not paying your fighters in the UFC what they deserve to be paid, but what's that got to do with you? Like, how is that your fucking business? You know what I mean? Mind your fucking business. He's having a go at everybody, innit? He's a bit fucking messed up, De La Hoya. You know what? I think it's down to, people put it down to being punch drunk and all drugged up, but I think it's deeper than that. You know, De La Hoya, he's got a daughter here. That's his daughter there. She looks quite nice, don't she? De La Hoya's daughter. But you know her there, De La Hoya's daughter. De La Hoya got divorced, you know, from her mum when she was like really young. And her mum married somebody else, you know, this guy here. And she like really looks at him like a dad. You know, she posted that photo on Instagram, you know, on Father's Day saying, Happy Father's Day, Travis. Thank you for always putting us first and being there for me, no matter what. Love you so much. Yeah? So, you know, Oscar De La Hoya's biological daughter, she looks at another man like it's her dad, you know what I mean? And looks at him as more of a father than De La Hoya, because there's a lot of pictures of her and her stepdad. That guy there, Travis. There's a lot of pictures of her and him, you know, on her Instagram. You know, paying tribute to him, saying, oh, you've been like a real dad to me. You know, I love you like a real father. You know what I mean? So Oscar De La Hoya, he's probably really bitter and jealous. You know, that his daughter looks at another man like her dad. So it's sending him fucking mental, innit, De La Hoya. De La Hoya's gone downhill and he started dressing up as a woman and he started snorting coke and he's dissing Dana White and Eddie Hearn and he's just, you know, he's really gone downhill on it. I don't know if he's broke, you know. Dana White said, yeah, you know, cocaine is one expensive drug. So it's not a surprise that De La Hoya's trying to come back to boxing, because he was supposed to fight in Triller, wasn't he? But I don't know if he's broke. I don't know. I just think he wants attention, you know, because his daughter looks at this man here, you know, her stepdad, as being her real dad. So I think Oscar De La Hoya is a bit bitter and resentful. Like, look, that's her stepdad, you know, with her when she was a little kid. So he's kind of raised her, you know, from a young age. So she kind of looks at him, her stepdad Travis, like a real dad, and she's not as interested in Oscar De La Hoya as she is her stepdad. So it's fucking up De La Hoya, and he's becoming really bitter and jealous, and it's really fucking him up mentally. So he's dissing Eddie Hearn and Joshua, you know, and Dana White and Canelo. He's lashing out, innit? It's a bit sad to see, innit? He's sat there with some woman rubbing oil on his face, but that woman who's doing that, she's just a fucking escort. You know, that he's having to pay these women to give him attention. You know, because his biological daughter, he's giving her stepdad attention that she's not really giving to her biological dad, Oscar De La Hoya. So he's a bit bitter, innit? And you can see that in his behaviour. So he's trying to get the attention, and he's dressing up as a woman, you know, trying to get people to look at him. He's kind of stooping to that level, innit? You know what I mean? And he's pretending to go on Triller, you know, so he would get a bit of attention that he's not getting from his daughter. He pretended to go on Triller, but then when the fight was like drawing closer, he pretended that he had COVID, you know, because he didn't really want to fight. He just wanted attention, you know, because he wasn't getting it from his biological daughter. She's giving the attention to her stepdad, you know, Travis, who raised her from a young age. So it's a bit sad to see, innit? Yeah, De La Hoya's gone downhill, hasn't he? And it's a bit like Chris Benoit, innit? You remember him? That wrestler. You know, his wife, she was about to leave him, you know, and she was going to run off with another man, you know, and take the kids. And those kids would have looked at that new man, you know, as being their dad. So Chris Benoit, he started to become really bitter and envious and jealous like De La Hoya. And he killed his wife, you know, and their kids, because he didn't want them to run off, you know, to another man and start calling them husband and dad. So Chris Benoit, the wrestler, you know, he killed his wife, you know, and his kids, because he was really bitter that they was about to leave him for another man. You know, and it's the same with De La Hoya, innit? He's lashing out. You know, she's quite nice, isn't she, De La Hoya's daughter? She's quite young though. She's a bit young. She's about 17 years old. So, you know, Babbage. I think Babbage would like her a lot, you know. Babbage, you know, Babbage. You know, he met his wife, you know, when she was 17 years old and he was 25. So, you know, Babbage, he kind of likes those 17-year-olds, don't he? So I think he'd like De La Hoya's daughter, because she looks quite nice, don't she? Yeah, do you think Dillian would beat Joshua in the rematch? I don't know, he's got a good chance, you know, because Joshua is a bit fucking scared now, isn't he? You know, after he got fucked up by Ruiz and Usyk, like, kind of messed him up. I think Dillian White's got as good a chance as ever, you know, of getting revenge over Joshua. So, yeah, Dillian. I don't know, I'd like to see him against Joshua again, you know. I think Joshua's finished, man. He's kind of lost that fighting spirit, you know what I mean? He hasn't got the fucking tough grit, you know, that he had back in the days. You know, when he was on tag and he was selling drugs and all that, he was a bit tougher back then, wasn't he? But he's kind of lost it now. He's kind of scared of what's coming back, you know, from his opponent. He didn't used to worry about all that, did he? But, you know, Usyk, he had Joshua worried. So yeah, Dillian White, I don't know. I think he's got a really good chance of beating Joshua, you know, in the rematch. I think Joshua's finished, man. He wanted to be like Lennox Lewis, didn't he? But it's not going to happen, is it? He's got too many yes men around him. You know what I mean? You know, saying, yeah, Joshua, brilliant. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. You know what I mean? Every little thing that he does. Yeah, brilliant, Joshua, brilliant. You know, Rob McCracken. He's a bit of a fucking yes man, isn't he? Yeah, Joshua, brilliant. You know, when he was behind, fucking Rob McCracken was like praising Joshua. So Joshua's got a load of yes men around him, hasn't he? You know, aka Skins. You know what I mean? He's a fucking big time groupie, isn't he? He's the fucking biggest yes man of them all, isn't he? AKA Skins. He's got to fuck him off, hasn't he, Joshua? He's got to get rid of AKA Skins. He's just hanging around for pussy, and he's hanging around for sexual reasons. He's got no real purpose at all. He's got to go, hasn't he? Joshua's got to get rid of him. You know what I mean? He's got to fuck him off and get rid of him. But he wasn't really around, if you notice. You know, for the Joshua Usyk fight, did you notice? He wasn't really around. I don't think he went to the fight at all. You know, he probably knew that Joshua was going to get fucked up by Usyk. You know, and AKA Skins, he knew it was going to affect him sexually, didn't he? So he didn't want to be around Joshua, you know, when he was getting fucked up by Usyk, you know, because he knew that a load of women were probably watching, you know what I mean? And AKA Skins, he's all about the pussy, innit? He's all about getting those fucking women, you know, Joshua's leftovers, but he strategically decided not to go to the Joshua Usyk fight, you know, because he knew Joshua was going to get fucked up by Usyk. And he knew that a load of women would be watching, so he didn't want to, you know, be associated with Joshua. You know, when he was getting fucked up by Usyk. So he's a fucking groupie, innit? AKA Skins. He's got to go, hasn't he? Joshua's got to fuck him off, you know, and maybe Rob McCracken as well. He's got to fuck both of those two off, hasn't he, Joshua? You know, if he stands any chance of beating Usyk in the rematch, but he won't really. He won't at all, you know. People are saying, oh, he might go into the rematch heavier, you know, and use his physical attributes, you know, and use his weight advantage to fuck up the natural cruiserweight. But, you know, Usyk, he's going to have a lot of confidence, you know, after the first fight, and he's going to have like 6 months to try and settle into the heavyweight division. You know, Eddie Hearn was like trying to make out like, oh, you know, Usyk, he's gonna do a world tour, you know, showing off his fancy belts that he won. You know, he's gonna travel the world showing off his belts, you know, enjoying the moment of becoming world heavyweight champion, you know, and that's what Andy Ruiz did in the rematch. You know, and we all seen what happened to Andy Ruiz in the rematch. So Eddie Hearn, he's trying to he's a car salesman, yeah. So he's trying to fool us, you know what I mean? None of us think that Usyk is going to do what Andy Ruiz did and just become a fat cunt and go out partying and not take boxing seriously and just come into the rematch complacent and lethargic and just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm just glad to be here. We all fucking know that Usyk isn't going to do that. So I don't know why Eddie Hearn's talking a load of shit. You know, he's trying to con us, innit? He's trying to get into our minds and make us think, oh, Joshua, you know, he could fuck up Usyk because Usyk's going to be out partying, drinking alcohol, fucking a load of women, getting really fat. But he doesn't live that life, does he? He doesn't live that life at all. He's happily married. He's a fucking consummate professional. Yeah? When he's punching the punch bags, he's doing mathematical equations. Yeah? He's doing mathematical equations. He's not fucking Andy Ruiz at all, is he? So Eddie Hearn is trying to fool us, isn't he? But it's not working, is it? Yeah, it's not working at all, man. But yeah, that'll do, you know. I need to watch this little silly Sky Sports show. You know, I didn't manage to watch it, so I need to watch that and then do a YouTube live, you know, reviewing it. So yeah, thanks for watching again, yeah? Thanks for that.